guys and girls, this is Claudia here from Euroblast 2019 in Cologne. Head with Wings is with me. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So, usually I don't start with that question, but is there a lot of discussion going on about sound?
Sound in terms of just like audio production quality? Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually. That's what we obsess about a lot. Basically, for our debut record, From Worry to Shame, we worked with people that we'd consider audiophiles, probably more so than us, to kind of preserve, as much quality as we could put forth on our first record. The production team that we worked with, guys in the band Earthside, I don't know if you've heard of them. They're from back in Connecticut as well. Those guys are working on a record in Sweden right now. Sound quality is always on our mind. When we're playing live, we like to have a say in who's doing our sound if possible. But at a festival like this, it's, we don't really have much to worry about because it's so professional. And this is also the first major festival we've ever played, so it already feels like a bit of a treat, and we haven't even played yet.
Cool. So when it comes to songwriting, then is there also discussions going on about gear and what sounds fit?
I would say yes. As far as gear goes, though, we tend to do the best we can with what we got, because up and coming bands not having everything at our disposal, we tend to use our sources that we can use to further ourselves, as well as work with other people and bring them with us, as them bring us with them. So it's definitely a discussion every time to see what we're gonna do.
You probably have more to say about sound, right?
I guess with gear, I'm actually trying to get a little bit more simple. I used to play a stereo guitar setup, so I had a 3-foot pedal board, 2 amps, a nightmare to carry anywhere. So
12 guitars.
Yeah, and then switched to a Helix, which is great, but more things to go wrong, lots of patches, and our other guitar player's foot switch actually blew up as soon as we got here. So there's the downside to digital, is having to reprogram hours of patches.
Oh God.
Is that what he's doing now?
I think his new rig is an analog one, but
Okay.
Just
we'll
to
see.
be sure. So the programming of things that you're using, like effect boards and stuff, it's taking up a lot of time, right?
It's tough because I used to just plug in and play and that was it, and now you have thousands of effects and different amp models. You could I've been for months just tweaking my sound a little bit all the time. Every time we play, it might sound a little better like this. So it never ends.
So you don't know how to stop.
No, that's why I want to just back up and just go back to the basics with it.
I feel like we'd rather continue to be an analog band if we could, but gigging more in the places where we're attempting to go and for fly gigs and whatnot, it just kind of makes more sense to go digital. But as our whole upbringing in doing this band since probably 2011, 2012, is we always were analog, We always kind of took pride in being a bit minimalist with what we're using, what types of gear we're using, and what did we did Fender, we ran Fender for forever, right?
Yeah, up until recently.
Yeah, so now it's just a bit different because we're trying to become a bit more mobile as a band, so that kind of dictates the kinds of equipment we're bringing with us now. But it's a bit out of our nature. So that's all. That's just.
So if you could, you'd go back to analog.
If we could afford to get it, it's unrealistic. But
hey, the guys, they need analog equipment to bring along, right?
But we make do.
Yeah.
And it still sounds great. It's just different than what we were used to.
And there's an anniversary of your record, and you have something special, a piano version.
Right. Yeah. We recently we released 2. I guess piano covers, you could call them. A pianist named Vikram Shankar, he's in the band Redemption, Lux Terminus, back in Ohio in the States. So we brought him on board to do a cover of one of the lead singles from our debut record, From Worry to Shame, which is June 1st was the 1-year anniversary of that album. It did a lot of good work for us, and yeah, Vikram did a great job. He even did a full medley of the whole record. So we released 2 pieces of music with him, which was a cover song of Somewhere Something Gives, and a full piano medley of the whole album.
What would you say is the reason why you're making music in the first place?
Oh, that is an interesting question indeed. I actually, before I even got involved with this band, didn't really have that drive to where we are today until I met these two and got involved with them, and everything blossomed from there. And just through working with them in the past, 5, 6, 7 years, it's grown my the word I'm looking for. It's made me more apt and have more drive to actually go out there in the world and make music and play music. It really just came together when I met the group that we're with today. So that's basically how it came to fruition for me. Didn't realize how much I loved and wanted to do this until I met the right people, and it was just a very humbling feeling when everything started coming together.
So why is making music without the people to motivate you so difficult? What do you think?
That's a good question. Maybe because I don't know, we feed off each other's sounds and ideas. It didn't really hit me like that until I was able to find guys where they were able to create music that I could write to that was fulfilling and felt great. So it was a good feeling to actually find something like that and bring me to that level. So that's where I'm at right now.
So what is important to you with regard to working together in a band?
You want to start, Brandon?
I was going to say chemistry, but I don't know if that, or working together well, I don't know if that always is necessary. I mean, we definitely can clash quite a bit with each other. I think it's just important that everybody has something different to bring to the table, but we can all find common ground. That, when we're writing, we're all coming from very different musical backgrounds and different tastes. So if we can all agree that this is a good song, then it definitely is. It's hard to please all of us at the same time.
There's a lot of checks and balances in the band, and even outside of the band. Like that's where it ties into the production team that we work with. We work with guys that are like beyond discerning to the point of not to the point of like tedium, but we'll go to war with each other over like a micro detail.
Yeah, that's good.
And and that's what we signed up for, I guess.
Yeah, we'll sit and pick out like one little note of a song amidst everything. It's like, should that be this one, or what works better?
Are you sure on that?
You want to tell the story about when we were tracking guitars with the
frequency? All production stopped for a few weeks because there was this frequency that our producer heard in the tracks. It wasn't even audible to me or to the rest of us, really, but we let him go with it because he's been protecting his ears since he was a little kid. Always has earplugs in at the bar. So we went to some guitar tech. We took a $4,000 guitar, played through a handmade amp. Everything was top of the line. Still there.
Like high quality cabling,
Cables are so important. People underestimate.
We had high-end cables built just for the recording process. Everything we did, we tried to eliminate any just stray noise, get the most pure audio we possibly could, and it turned out that's just what a guitar sounds like.
That was
couldn't help it.
That's just a guitar.
Yeah.
So, but he's fine by now with the frequency.
I guess so. Yeah, he realized that it was a losing battle, and it just is what it is.
It's one of those perfectly imperfect things about guitar. That's that's just what it is as an instrument.
Then it's okay.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what it is, it's quite disturbing.
Well, so far nobody has made the complaint of, oh, I hear this noise on the album.
What's this?
Yeah, usually there's good feedback regarding the production quality.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just one of those things that you could obsess over anything. At what point, you know, like when do you just stop and move on? So that's something we've tried to get better with as a band.
Yeah.
Is just acknowledge something, move on.
Yeah.
You know, move on to the next thing.
It's kind of the hardest thing with writing or creating something in general is when is it time to say that it's done and move on to the next thing.
So one last question: is the definition artist something you would call yourself?
Yeah, I'd say so, and that's because I think it's because of all the the forethought we're putting into what we're creating. If our music wasn't so layered and thought out and had like a narrative to it and all this context and layering, then maybe it would be a stretch. Combined with all the illustrative aspects of it, the video components, all of it ties into a story. The presentation of everything matters. It's like of the utmost importance to us. So yeah, I'd say I would like to be considered as an artist over just performer or something like that, because that comes secondary for us. We will spend years creating something, not that we want to spend years, but however long it takes, and then we go perform it. So it's the artistry comes first, and then we go figure out how to make it happen on stage.
What do you think is it that makes somebody be an artist or be described as an artist?
Commitment, I guess. Like actually, making it, making it at the forefront of your life. Putting in like a shifts, a solid work week in terms of thinking about the ideas, creating your riffs, the sound design aspect. Everything that goes into the songwriting. If someone's dedicating a ton of time to all of that, I think you're on the right track to becoming an artist, and then believing in yourself that you could put it out and support it and let people know about it, And that's something that we weren't doing in the beginning of the band, right? Because we didn't really we knew we wanted to create, but we didn't necessarily have intentions of taking over the world or something like that. It was just
we were just writing songs almost just for the sake of doing it. And we were only a band for 6 months when we put out our first EP.
It took an outside source to come in and be like, hey, you guys can actually get that out there. You should focus on that too. We needed that.
Yeah.
It's the same topic as before with you, right?
Yes,
There's
exactly.
something moving you.
Exactly.
Further.
There's a lot of people feeding off of each other. Just it's quite a surreal feeling when you can do that with people. So it's really cool to be a part of.
We're very into collaboration. We haven't really accomplished much on our own except for like in the infancy stages when we first became a band. But then it's like we've needed our support system of collaborators and everything to kind of get us moving in the right direction.
I think that's great though, because I think anything that we've done has always become better by working with a team instead of just thinking we can do it the best way it can be done on our own. That's not the case.
Yeah.
It's still done in a vacuum, but it's like a bigger vacuum, like we let a little bit in.
Right. So with that whole team behind you, where are you heading after Euroblast? You're going somewhere, I guess.
Yeah, we have a few days off. We go to Leipzig for a little while, and then on the 2nd of October we play Berlin. From there, where do we go? Mannheim, then Rendsburg, and then Hamburg. So we're actually doing a short tour run with a German metal band, Soul Splitter. So those guys, if you were at the Ignite Night performance, they put on a hell of a show, and they're deeply rooted in the country. So it made it a lot easier for us to kind of get a tour off the ground after Euroblast and be able to have them as support, like a support system to get around the country and go to places that we'd have a good shot of having people actually entertain what we're offering. We
had the interview with them days.
Oh, very cool.
Yesterday, yeah.
Really nice guys.
Yeah, really nice guys.
Just met him for the first time, so
Actually,
we met a lot of
before
people.
their.
Sorry.
Oh, it was just right before their set was the first time I met them.
Ah, okay.
So we met a lot of people for the first time on this trip. You know, we've never even done a fly gig before, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of firsts here in Germany for our band.
So enjoy your feelings here at the family of Euroblast.
Thank you.
And the tour, and thanks for the interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.